Hey guys, I'm Dante.
And I'm Mike.
And this is the Science Bros. Hi guys, so welcome to the Science Bros. Today we're going to do just a quick fun little project. We're trying to make this like a one-day affair. So basically Mike and I were discussing a few different types of fire extinguishers that we've got around the house, and our idea was that we wanted to see how the two different ones perform in a variety of different fires. And we're going to see how well they work, whether or not really we need to get bigger fire extinguishers.
Okay, so this is like a standard, furniture fire in your house. You left your candle under the curtain and it caught fire.
All right.
Which extinguisher is this?
This one is going to be our first dry powder extinguisher right here. So we'll see how this goes. Oh, how did this thing already lose all the pressure?
And that was pretty instant.
Yeah, that was really quick.
And yet it re-caught though.
Yeah. So this thing has just leaked out the pressure though, which I'm kind of sad about.
So let that be a lesson to not let your fire extinguishers lose pressure. Okay, so as you can see, the pressure has seemed to all leaked out of this fire extinguisher. We've given it a test shot right before this, and it really seems like you have to use it all at once, or else you get no oomph to back up your fire extinguishing powers.
Yeah, the dry powder, like Mike said, just once we opened the canister at all, it had all just leaked out in the space of 10 minutes.
Yeah, we had just opened it like 10 minutes ago, and now it was basically just a little pee stream.
Yeah, it was just a really weak stream, and my disappointment was that even for the one that we used all at once, after all the pressure was used up from it entirely, there was still some powder inside of it. This is the aerosol extinguisher.
Aerosol extinguisher, okay.
It's just, you don't get the flood of powder that the dry powder extinguisher gives you, so you'd have to hit it from multiple angles.
Okay, well, it's out.
Yeah, I mean, that was a decently sized fire right there that we just put out with this, so.
And we didn't appear to run out of, actual substance in the fire extinguisher either.
Yeah.
I think this aerosol one is a lot more effective, actually.
Yeah,
It doesn't look as,
yeah,
top tier, but it seems like it did a better job at extinguishing the fires for sure.
you had to get a lot closer with the aerosol one. That's the
range is limiting factor.
The range is limiting factor, and it takes a lot longer to put out the fire. But when it does, the fire's out.
It's a nice pot of fire. Gone. That's put out gasoline pretty nicely.
Yeah. So for the liquid fire extinguisher in the aerosol can, it was like a much stickier liquid. So for that one, it really felt like when we hit each of the surfaces with it, it stuck to the surface and it didn't just get blown back off. So it wasn't as quick at putting out the fire, but all the parts that we had sprayed stayed out. Like once the fire was down, it was down. Whereas with the powder fire extinguisher, it felt like it just blew back up.
Woo.
That's a nice grease fire right there.
All right, now you want to put some water in it? Okay, I got shower on.
Yeah,
Wait, you want? I'll do.
that was actually better. Wow. Okay, so I did put it out actually though. Holy shit. That was big. That was a big one. Wow. Nice. Like just a quick jolt does that.
Instant.
Instantly out.
See if it'll recatch.
Alright. Now it's out.
All right, so as you guys could see, you really shouldn't put water on a grease fire, and we kind of wanted to demonstrate that for you.
So as you guys can see in that shot right there, when you put water on a grease fire, what happens is that the water sinks down below the hot oil, so the oil is already above the boiling point of the water. So the water sinks down beneath it and is then getting boiled off by the hot oil. So the water boils, produces steam, expands, and it kind of blows the oil up off the top.
The burning oil.
Yeah, so you get, it's not that it like makes it explode or anything, it's just that the water rapidly turning into steam agitates the oil and you're blowing the oil all over the place. So you get this massive fireball effect. And obviously if you were any closer to that than we were, we could have been hit pretty hard by that.
Especially inside a house, if you can imagine that on your stovetop, that could be pretty dangerous.
If we had that inside, it would have been licking the ceiling. And obviously that's not something you want. So your safest bet is either a fire extinguisher or just putting a pan lid on top of it, just to smother the fire out and then keep the pan lid on top of it and take it off the heat.
Yeah, but we want to show you guys the the exciting thing of the water on a grease fire.
Yeah, this thing everybody says not to do, and now you can see why.
So don't do this at home.
I'm going to spread it out to a larger total area. All right, now I think we're good.
Wow.
That was really quick, actually.
That is plumage. Like, look at that air. Oh, it relit.
Oh my god. Oh. Well, I think I used up all of it now. So I think that this powder, it's still being able to migrate over to the areas that were already hit by the powder.
Did you not lay on the powder thick enough then? Even when it's out, you keep spraying.
Yeah. We'll try this one now. Hi guys, so just as kind of a review of how fire extinguishers work, the whole goal behind them is basically that you just want to put out some substance that doesn't burn and that blocks the fire from either its source of fuel or its source of oxygen. So in the case of like a CO2 extinguisher, which is one of the types that we didn't use today, it just shoots carbon dioxide at the fire and it smothers it because the carbon dioxide doesn't burn, so it separates the fire from its source of oxygen. In the case of our dry powder extinguisher, it just smothered the fire with a powder that also doesn't burn.
We just didn't get good enough coverage on our thing to keep it from not reigniting.
Absolutely. So, and that kind of leads into the next point, which is just going to be that for most fire extinguishers, the idea is that you want to smother the area long enough and keep it smothered long enough that the fire can't come back if another source of ignition comes by. And like Mike said, for that dry powder extinguisher that we used, maybe it was the way that we were using it, but it just didn't have enough coverage and it didn't feel like the powder stuck to the surface at all. So as the fire would reignite, it was actually just blowing the powder right back off of the fire. So it was good for the grease fire. It was really good about that because it just smothered it and then it didn't come back because there wasn't an ongoing source of ignition. But like with the cardboard fire, the cardboard underneath was still hot enough that it would just reignite and it would blow all the powder back off.
All right, thank you guys so much for joining us on this wildfire adventure. Make sure to not do this at home, one, because it's very dangerous. I almost got caught on fire.
Yeah. And be sure to like and hit subscribe if you guys like this and you want to see more. We really had a lot of fun doing this video, but we hope that you guys really enjoyed watching this one.